Bust it.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Hello and welcome to Political Platform, a program where we dwell essentially on politics. We could do economy when, of course, issues and developments they do come up. My name is Amechi Anapue, and if you're talking of politics, 2019 general election, or to be more specific, presidential election is taking shape with the action of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Last week, he resigned from the APC, the ruling party. Unexpectedly, he has moved over to the PDP. In a Facebook live message, he gave reasons again why he left the APC and why he's indeed moving to pursue and actualize his ambition, if I call it age-long ambition, to become president of Nigeria. Do you recall that Atiku Abubakar contested the ticket of the SDP, Social Democratic Party, in 1992 with the late MKO Abiola? That was the first time he wanted to even give it a shot. And since then, it's been one event, one development or the other. He later became a vice president and made attempts in 2007 and, of course, other attempts in 2011 and 15 to make a go at the presidency. Now, they, of course, you know what the results were. But some say it is his last chance. He's in his early 70s. And if he misses 2019, then that ambition will go the way of the ambition of late Obafemi Awolowo, one man who wanted desperately to become president of Nigeria, and so many others that have lost it. So it's the last opportunity for the Wazir of Adamawa. On this program today, we shall, of course, be giving you the various perspectives to the issue. Will Atiku become the only person to move over to the PDP? Are there some others that will also want to jump ships? Of course, the APC is also gaining. Obani Koro, a PDP member, former minister and former Nigeria's High Commissioner to Ghana, has also left the PDP for the APC. So you can see that it is movements that are, of course, coming from all angles. Our usual friend and guest analyst is in town and is joining us this morning. Hedu and Yabu, welcome.
Thank you very much, Amechi. Good morning, listener. Indeed, the movement of the former vice president from the APC to the PDP is seriously changing the political landscape. One would have thought that it's only the members of the PDP that will be articulating at the moment, but there seem to be a lot of articulators across the length and breadth of the political parties. And the way it's moving is indeed waking the opposition up, and we just do hope that the APC will sit up. The idea of the governor of Kaduna State saying that it doesn't matter. It's like what PDP said in 2014 when a group of governors and other chieftains, including Atiku, left the party and moved to the APC and said good riddance to bad rubbish. But at the end of the day, the bad rubbish became the main thing that swept them power off their feet. As we are speaking, if those in the APC don't actually also do their calculation properly and begin to argue like Erufai, they may discover that Atiku is not the only one articulating.
Well, what Erufai said was that he checked to see how many people are living with the former vice president, and he didn't see any. He said most governors are still with the president, and the governor of Adamawa State came out to say that he will stay and die in APC and will not follow Atiku to the PDP. These are some of the points Erufai raised in his submission. Ijomo Samuel is also in this studio.
Thank you, Amechi. That statement at times can be political still. You remember what happened when Andy Uba left the PDP. A day to when he made it public that he was leaving the PDP, he stood up in their meeting and said he will never leave the PDP. So if politicians are telling you that, I think you need to check properly because what we are hearing is that some very prominent politicians will be changing shapes. So whether from the PDP or the APC. And I kind of like what is happening because that shows that the 2019 race is going to be a keenly contested one between the PDP and the APC. Maybe a third force, we have not seen it coming, but if that one is going to come, if we don't see it before the end of this December, January, February, they will just know that the election for 2019 is between PDP and APC.
Okay, also with us in the studio is Uju Ejeye.
Amechi, it's a good thing what has happened. At least it provides Nigerians with a wider choice in 2019. And yes, APC actually has to be worried because Atiku Abubakar is not a man that you can just discountenance like that. He's a man who has wide followership, not just in the north. I mean, if you look at it as a straight battle between him and maybe the incumbent president or whoever the north chooses at that time, I think that it would not be quite right, because apart from the fact that it would divide the votes of the north, he also has wide following both in the southeast, south, and southwest. If you look at Atiku's political children cut across even political parties. I recall in 1999, when democracy came back, when the country came back to democratic rule, they used to have a yearly dinner, and you will see them from the AD, from the APP then, and from the PDP, Atiku's political children. And over the years, he's a man who's managed to keep his friends. He keeps his friends, he's a loyal a person when it comes to friendship and political affiliation. That is not to say that he may not even have another challenge. I also think it's a bit wrong to just say, oh, it will be a straight fight between him and the current president. No, there's also the Sule Lamido factor to look at. Sule Lamido is also a man of proven integrity, and of course he also has his own following. I think it's a good thing that Nigerians can actually look beyond 2-3 people and choose who they want in 2019.
Will Atiku be able to go into the 10 million votes for President Muhammad Buhari, the votes he had garnered over the years in northern Nigeria? Is there a politician in northern Nigeria that enjoys mass followership among the downtrodden than Buhari? People always point at this record to say it will be pretty difficult to get someone who will indeed rival him. But in politics, anything is possible. We shall be, of course, giving you different perspectives to this issue. The Atiku's movement to the PDP may have indeed set some alarm bells ringing in the APC. The first implication is that it will draw out the president into early proclamation of his intention to run. Of course, after he left the APC, the president went to Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, to give hints that he may run. Now that Atiku is fully in PDP, you may not be surprised to see the president making an early declaration. And of course, Atiku's actions are already eliciting reactions from the APC camp. Just think of the Mobo Musical Award that Nigerians did very well in, talking about Whiskey, Davido and co. Atiku was the first to congratulate the young people, and a few hours later, the presidency had to react. So that battle is already on.
I think that one good thing it will do for Nigerians is to draw the president out and make the APC more responsive and responsible towards Nigerians.
But I'm still looking at the PDP because there are issues we still have to look at the PDP's issue. If by Saturday the convention goes well, the PDP will have a better chance to challenge the incumbents come 2019. But with all these pockets of complaints coming from the state and local government congresses around Nigeria, I don't know whether the PDP is trying to...
We heard that it was a bloodbath in Anambra.
Till this morning, it's been so terrible in Anambra, Oka, and our correspondent kept calling me, telling me he didn't even sleep because they were fighting. And the issue has been the fake delegate list. What they used for the local government congress, the list they used for local government and World Congress is 2 days ago. It's a different list that came out yesterday.
It's always the same issue. I think we'll be there.
When you pass, when you are walking on the street and you see children, whether school children or any other children, throwing stone at the mango tree, be rest assured that there are fruits on top of that mango.
Exactly.
And so when there are no fruits, you don't bother, you just walk by. If the party is not having what is attractive to people, individuals will not begin to struggle to want to be part of. What is happening is that PDP is waking up from the trouble they had in the course of the Ali Modu Sharif days of battle with the party. I agree with Tijoma Osama, that how well they are able to deal with it on Saturday is going to determine how high they are going to soar. But don't also forget that it has been very difficult for even the ruling party to be able to even have a convention.
Okay.
2 years on.
Let's take a break. We'll take your mails, then we come back to analysis. It's all about the 2019 presidency. It appears the ground has been watered for Atiku in the PDP. I can tell you that even 2 years ago, there were moves to bring him back to PDP and make him the candidate. These are more when we come back.
Busted.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform.
Welcome back from the break. It's the mail segment. I am Etenikang Akepu.
And I am Chidima Enyi. You're welcome.
We're beginning with a reaction to Atiku's defection to the PDP, and Okafo Munachi in Jabi Abuja has written in. He says, the much anticipated political drama has finally happened. To me and other millions of Nigerians, it didn't come as a surprise. It was an open secret. I have a few words to His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. Dear sir, now you have gone back to the PDP, where many people believe you belong. What next? Are you now ready to think Nigeria first beyond all selfish interest? If you don't get the position you want, are you willing to remain humble and to be a nation builder than destroyer? Are you willing to respect the party's standing order or constitution even when it doesn't favor your personal interest? If you finally get what you have been looking for, are you willing to better the life of millions of suffering Nigerians? Putting all these questions in consideration, my country, Nigeria, is sick and needs a physician. Are you willing to be one? Who knows, you might be the Messiah we have been looking for. God bless Nigeria.
And still in that light, Hazim Kazim in Lagos State writes, now that the race for political contest in 2019 has started in earnest, it is important to situate the political economic compass of Nigeria in proper perspective. The luxury of time has eluded us, and we are candidly faced with the urgency of now to salvage the rudderless state of Nigeria ship. We desperately need a crack team of professionals, intellectuals and technocrats to chart a new course and ensure a solid and prosperous future for Nigeria's progress and development. We are sordidly and dangerously immoral equivalent of war, as all socio-economic indicators and human development index have plummeted to all-time low. The current crop of politicians parading the political space do not possess the mental, intellectual abilities and capabilities to navigate this country out of the socio-economic and political conundrum currently ravaging it. We urgently need a third critical force for national salvation. Thank you. Away from that, Vixen Victor from Port Harcourt in Rivers State titles this mail as the End SARS campaign thickens. He says, the best approach to every problem is addressing the root cause. I agree to the fact that SARS has constituted today, just like a majority of the other sections of the Nigerian police force has lost touch with the reason they were created. But I do not think the disbandment of this section of the Criminal Investigation Department of the police force is the solution to the woes and ineffectiveness of the force. We can't be screaming on the mountaintop, #EndSARS, when we know our streets are not yet safe. We would continually have members of the underground world with us. With the way and manner of the media campaign against SARS is going, we may end up dampening the morale of the few credible men of SARS we have. And when we succeed in doing that, we would have also ended up in emboldening the criminals in our society. I think it would be better if we call it as restructuring of SARS, or better still, overhauling of SARS. That way, we will end up directing our energies toward a noble cause of having a safer society.
And Amechi Obochi in Kubwa, Abuja writes on the spate of suicide bombing in Nigeria. He goes on to say the rate at which suicide bombers operate in Borno State of late is becoming worrisome, as no day passes without reports of one suicide bomber or two either killing people or blowing off themselves. How did we get to this stage? Politics of APC and PDP apart, we must all realize that these suicide bombers are destroying Nigeria, and Nigerians while rubbishing the country amongst the Committee of Nations. I therefore urge all well-meaning Nigerians to put politics, tribe and religion aside and come together to find a lasting solution to Boko Haram menace as their continued existence destroys the country. Why watch and play our normal politics as if nothing is happening? God help Nigeria.
Still on bomb threats, Okechukwu from Isuzu local government area of Enugu State says, United Kingdom and the United States counterpart issued security alerts to their nationals living in Nigeria, claiming that the terrorists are planning to bomb Abuja and other major cities in the country. I see the security alert as one of the hypocrisies of the West against us. This stems from the fact that if actually UK and US intelligence discover the claimed terrorist plan, why not relate the information to Nigeria's security agencies in order to nip the attack in the bud? Why creating fear among Nigerians, thereby portraying our security agencies as ineffective? If the security alerts are not meant to undermine our security agencies, why didn't they use their sophisticated technologies to prevent the recent terror attacks in their own countries before they happen? Terrorism is a global phenomenon which is peculiar to Nigeria, so the West should not be putting fear in us all the time because they are not immune from it. God bless Nigeria.
And that will do for the mail segment for today. Keep your mails coming. Send them to politicalplatform@yahoo.com.
Bust it.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform.
Thank you so much for remaining with us. Is it that just after he left the PDP for the APC, Atiku Abubakar knew that someday, sometime he may return and may, of course, use the platform of that party to seek to actualize his ambition? I recall when the crisis in the leadership of the PDP was on. Alimadu Sheriff, in an interview I had with him, told me that Uche Secondus, then Deputy National Chairman, and others were working to indeed prepare the ground for Atiku Abubakar to come back to the PDP and pick the presidential ticket. And now that, of course, the chairmanship of the party is up for grabs, and where the governors are solidly behind Uche Secondus, if he emerges, of course, these are some of the permutations, even when some people say it should also be zoned to the southwest. Will it now be that the ground has been prepared for Atiku to pick the ticket? There are some others in PDP. Some of my colleagues mentioned them. Sule Lamido named them. Even Ayo Fayose has also proclaimed his ambition. Would they rally around Atiku Abubakar, or would they go into a contest? What are the possibilities of Atiku Abubakar picking the PDP tickets?
Amechi, I think if the PDP wants to do the right thing, according to Atiku Abubakar's statement yesterday, he said he has found out that the PDP has been able to correct his the evil that made them leave the party last 4 years ago. But now, if they actually want to do the right thing, they will allow democracy to take its course. They will allow everybody to go to the field and slug it out. You hold a convention or a congress and allow them go for a primaries. Instead of saying, yes, this is the person, whoever is strong enough, if you know you have the political clout and you have people who can do it, who can make you become a candidate, they go to the field. I think the PDP should not allow impunity that actually almost killed the party to continue. If you have a candidate, wait until the primaries. If there are 20 candidates that are hustling for that position, allow them go to the field and test their ability.
Amechi, those of you who follow football and footballers in Europe know that a time comes when you have transfer season. The transfer season enables different clubs to go buy a player, discharge a particular player, all for the purpose of winning and then carrying the cup at the end of that particular season. And that is what's happening in Nigeria today. We have already gotten to the political transfer season, where you are going to see individuals moving from one political party to the other. The question is, forming a political party is different from forming a pressure group. Political parties are formed for the purpose of acquiring power, taking power through the ballot, and then forming government. And if you, as a contestant or as a player in that field, is desirous of leading, either as a governor or as a president, and you discover that the club that you are playing is moving backward like Bolton Wanderers, you need to begin to look for the new Chelsea or possibly the new Arsenal. That is what is happening at the moment. But beyond that, we have also said on the platform that if a man is in Abuja and his destination is Lagos. But when he gets to the car park, he sees a vehicle that has a very beautiful color with very wonderful air condition. And instead of asking properly where that vehicle is going to, he decides to join the vehicle and ignore the one that may look a little rickety. Along the line, he discovered that this vehicle have gotten to Kaduna rather than getting to Lokoja. He cannot, it will be foolishness for that person to say, since I'm enjoying this air condition, let me continue in this vehicle that is well air conditioned and continue to progress. Because if he continue, for each kilometer that that vehicle covers, it takes him further away from Lagos. Before you know it, he will move even from Kaduna, he will get to Kano, and each distance takes him further away from Lagos. But if he drops from that vehicle, by the time he discovered it was a mistake when they get to Kaduna, and he enters even a tipper, that is the one that carries sand, and begins to come back, each kilometer that one covers, before you know it, he will be in Suleja, and after some time he gets to Abuja, and he begins to progress, he will get to Lokoja and continue through Ibilo.
How do you reconcile? One of the mails we got this morning that we didn't read was, of course, the one that mentioned you as the proponent of jumpology, and of course the gentleman frowned at the attitude of people jumping around. How do you reconcile this your statement now with our position before that politicians should stay in their party even when it is not going well for them to reform the party?
I have always also said that you cannot go into a rotten mouth and begin to look for a heady teeth. The political space we have today is not properly idealized, in which case they don't still being ruled by ideology. Yes. You cannot actually at the moment play out of that space, except you want to remain in Siberia when your mates are moving into the direction that is well Americanized. Now, what am I saying? It is bad for people to jump from one political party to the other. Don't also forget that the present president, who have gotten what he wanted, which is to become president, first of all moved from APP, he became AMPP, he still contested. When he became sure, when it was obvious that AMPP will not deliver him, he formed his own political party, the CPC, and when the CPC could not also become a proper vehicle, he joined hands with others to form the APC. That is a journey of 4 different identities. Today, he has gotten what he needed. Unlike what you see in other clients, like in the United States, where it is either you are a Democrat or possibly you are a Republican. That does not mean that other smaller political parties don't exist in the United States. They do exist. But these 2 major forces, I just hope that as we make progress, that we will not have a time where it will just be PDP and APC.
Strictly on ideology.
So that, yes, strictly on ideology, in which case, you also lock up the system. You amend the law that for you to move, that these are certain, but even when you amend that law, that freedom of association will also come and have a play. I agree that jumpology may not be the right thing, but if jumping is for you to have a higher score, it becomes a question of the end justifying the means.
And in line with what Hiedu has just said, you find that in this case, jumpology becomes easy because the parties are not demarcated along ideological lines. So it really makes no difference whether you're in APC, you're in PDP, you're in DPP, whichever. Almost all the political parties have the same or undefined ideology, if I may put it that way. One person writes all the manifestos of all the political parties. So there's really no difference. Whether you're here, it's almost the same. But again, I would beg to disagree with you when you say that all the governors are behind Secondus. I think it's...
No, I say some of the governors.
Okay.
Some of the governors.
Okay, you see.
That's what
maybe
the rumors we are hearing.
I know
not
that it's still
for
a
fact,
divided house,
just as
even
some
between
speculation.
the governors. It's still a divided house.
If it's not divided, then it's not a contest.
Exactly. Still a divided house. And the PDP founding fathers, I have spoken with some of them. Of course, they would favor what they have been used to, which is the consensus arrangement, picking a candidate. In those days, you just get to the field. Some people are just even meeting the chairmanship candidate for the first time. But things have changed. Why they would favor that, they also have to appreciate that the thinking of the people have changed. The new leaders that have come into the party favor real democracy, internal party democracy, give a level playing field, let everybody go and slug it out. So I think that if they do not want to lose control of that party, like what happened in the last 2 years, they should just let
Get
go
it right this
and
time
allow the new thinking to prevail. Nobody stays with the thinking for decades. The new thinking has come. let them move with that.
Ijoma,
We have to let go.
Let's move into the APC. What are the options for the APC now? Of course, the next person that attention is being shifted to is Rabiu Musa Kwankwasia. We know he's not happy from some developments. You look at Bukola Saraki. Where does he stay now? At some point, it was a big gulf between.
Is he about to acquire a jumping boot?
But then the more important one, the strongman of Lagos politics, national leader of the APC, Tinubu, the president flying with him to Cote d'Ivoire. Pictures coming around, rapprochement going on. It appears the president has suddenly realized that there's a need to renew old friendship.
Amechi, just take the calculation. Remember before the APC chose the vice president, Professor Oshibajo, to be the running mate to Buhari, Tinubu came out and said, I want to run. So it will not be out of place if Tinubu is standing as the running mate to President Muhammadu Buhari come 2019.
We are even hearing the speculations.
So it's there. Now, you made a statement that you've not seen anybody that can compete with the president to get that 10 million votes. Remember that before the 2015 election, the PDP already had people who were not with them. The masses were already complaining. They were tired. They wanted change. And that was what gave President Muhammadu Buhari the kind of votes that he got. Even when they came and said the votes were not too real. And now people are still complaining, and they are complaining so hard that the change they yearn for, they are not seeing it. And that's what Atiku is campaigning with. So if you think that the 10 million votes will still go to Buhari, you have to think well.
You know, Amechi, the fact is that the votes you get, oftentimes, look at it, majority of the time, once you get into power, your acceptability drops. And the major challenge of the APC, except to those who are hiding from it, is that the president did not actually play real politics with members of the party.
Yeah.
And so that's why you see a number of persons being aggrieved in the party, and it's a challenge.
And I think that is a good thing that he's realizing that he needs a man like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who we know is a master strategist when it comes to election issues. It's good that he's going back, but whether he's this new love would make that one make a 90-degree turn, to him again, is something that is not quite clear, because there's alignment and realignment, and new friends have come on the horizon.
Before you go, remember that Kwankwasia, there was a report, even if they said it is not true, that Kwankwasia told his supporters to quit the APC
and move to the PDP. We are yet to hear from Rabiu Musa Kwankwasia himself. Let's wait till we hear from him. The much we can take, but when we come back on Tuesday, of course, you can, of course, expect more reports and analysis. Thank you so much to Hedi and my colleagues. Have a wonderful day.
Bust it.